This is what's great about sports. This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game.
Winning isn't everything, but it's the only thing. In our business, there is no second place. Either you're first or you're last.
Ain't this what they've been waiting for? You ready?
And now, the W with Walls and the crew.
Good morning.
Where winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. On 100.1 FM.
Good morning.
And Facebook Live.
Back like we never left, another Saturday morning with the W Show, Kansas City, talking sports and pop culture. If this is your first time checking us out, we appreciate you making us a part of your Saturday morning. Your kind of brisk spring hasn't sprung yet Saturday morning.
Say brisk, it's freezing outside.
It's freezing?
Yeah,
it's brisk. The little breeze is happening.
It's cold.
A little breeze. It pushed me in the door. What do you mean, like a little breeze?
Yeah, it's cold.
Yeah, I'm just waiting on spring to sprung.
We all are, I really want spring, girl. If you can hear me, fight back. Like old man winter has you in a chokehold.
So spring is a girl?
Right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
So what's summer?
Summer's a girl too.
So winter is the man.
Winter is the man.
What's fall?
Fall's a girl. Fall is a girl.
So 3 girls is a guy. All right.
Fall is like, I feel like fall is that sophisticated woman, that sophisticated auntie in your life.
Oh, okay.
The rich auntie, the auntie that everybody loves,
Oh.
And spring and summer, that's like the youthful time.
So what about if you in like Florida and you don't have but summer?
Well, they got.
I'm trying to figure
they
out
rich
all
auntie
these
all year
analogies
round.
and metaphors, and just say it's just hoodie season part 2. It's just cold.
What?
It's got to be the great auntie and all that. No, it's just weather is weather, and it's cold.
Or what if you're in Alaska and you only got one? Old man
winter all year round in a chokehold.
You adapt, and somehow 30 degrees becomes summer dude.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, sir.
Yeah.
How was everyone's week?
Awesome.
Awesome.
Yep.
Did you do anything cool? What? You like awesome?
I know. Expound.
I'm breathing.
Oh, okay. You're above the dirt, huh?
Yeah.
That's good enough. Man, shout out to C. Lenz though. We got the superstar amongst.
I know. Can I get an autograph, please?
Dang. So C. Lenz, tell us how it went down. That's what we want to know.
I was there. I took a picture.
Who did you take a picture of? Like
I took a picture of Patrick LaVon Mahomes.
The second.
Okay.
I know that's right.
Mm-hmm.
He reposted it on socials. You know what I'm saying? I think we locked in now.
Hey, you should get a shirt with that on there and have your name like right there, and then like circle it. You know how you kind of do the.
Mike don't always have the best ideas, but that's one that you got to take right there.
You know what though? It's like you leave and then the hate's still there.
But I just want to say it is such an honor and a privilege to have had my photos taken by
C. Lenz.
C. Lenz.
Look at that, dude. Listen, you need to brand your name, man. You better trademark that C. Lenz, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I got you. I'm gonna take it. You gonna pay me.
So it's funny you say that because friend of the show, C. Dot. This is about pre-COVID. He had said something about Chris Jones on Twitter, and Chris Jones like added him on back and responded. I don't remember what it was, but like it went on ESPN. It was national, like national news. And so what C. Dot did is he got the hoodie made with the tweet and the repost by Chris Jones, and he started selling them.
Look, man. Look, Chris. If you need to take this to the entrepreneur level or whatever, like you sleeping on this. When I saw that, I was like, I know that big head dude. Man. like I know this dude. This is the dude that doesn't eat greens, man.
All he eat is
no
chicken
turkey.
Nuggets.
Yeah, chicken nuggets and Chinese food on
From
Thanksgiving.
McDonald's.
Was it Chinese food on McDonald's? What did you get? I mean, on Thanksgiving, what did you eat on Thanksgiving?
Hated it.
All right, we got a lot to talk about today, man. Shout out to C Lens though. We gotta get that shirt done though, man.
I'm about to trademark your name, man. How much money you got?
It's always that one person in the group that want to take the credit.
Right.
I ain't taking the credit. I'm just, hey, you listen.
Like you didn't put in on this, man.
Yeah.
Hey,
You wasn't there with me shooting in the gym.
Hey, I was in the law office though.
All right, a lot to talk about. So we're gonna talk Rashee Rice. Speaking of Chiefs, he won't be disciplined over ex-girlfriend's assault allegations. We'll also talk about Bill Self. It was not an April Fool's joke. Bill Self is returning to KU. Plus, we'll talk legendary women's basketball coach and coach of all coaches, Don Staley. She got into it with Geno Auriemma.
Yeah.
They got into a heated shouting match. We'll dive into that. Plus, in about 30 minutes, we'll have our sneakers of the week. Let's get to today's headlines.
And now, here are the biggest sports headlines from this week. We bring them to you every Saturday morning on The W with Walls and the Crew on 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
All right, so the NFL had some breaking news yesterday afternoon. They said that they would not discipline Rashee Rice after former girlfriend posted images of bruises and wounds on social media earlier this year and alleged that they were caused by Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice. So the league said in a statement, Rice has not engaged in a conduct that violates the personal conduct policy. So the Chiefs did not, of course, have a comment on the decision, but Rice's attorney, Sean Lindsay, said in a statement that Mr. Rice wants to thank the NFL for their thorough investigation and looks forward to the start of the 2026-27 NFL season. So if you guys have been under a rock and don't remember, the issue involving Rashee Rice came after girlfriend Dakota Jones alleged that in a lawsuit filed in February in Dallas County, Texas, that he had physically assaulted her multiple times, causing injuries that included bleeding and bruising. So the lawsuit said that Rice grabbed, choked, strangled, punched, thrown, scratched, hit, and headbutted Jones, in addition to hitting her with objects. So the lawsuit also said that Rice had thrown objects, punched walls, and broken furniture. And many of these incidents occurred when Jones, who has 2 children with Rice, was pregnant.
I love it because, you know, as an avid Dynasty owner, I have a couple of shares of them, but I'm glad that this happened early. Obviously, because with the NFL draft coming up, you want to get some conclusion on some clarity on what you can do, you know, with your roster and setting your team up for next year. But also, this is better than what happened in the Tyreek Hill situation because his situation came while the draft was kind of, you know, progressing, and they drafted Mecole Hardman, and then after the legal proceedings, you know, came about, there was no findings. And then he was traded, and then he was left with Mecole Hardman and Tyreek Hill and his situation in Miami or whatever. So this what's going on with the draft is coming up. Now they can probably focus on defense, and they don't have to worry about the availability of Rashee Rice.
Agreed. I feel like it's because the league could have waited until June or right before the season to say, hey, we didn't find anything and he'll be playing. But at that point, it'd be too late because as a general manager, I believe that you kind of like what you said, you got to plan for the what ifs. Yeah. Let's say he's already been, you know, suspended for 6 games. And you got to look at what happened last year. Let's say, you know, that he was already suspended for a detrimental policy to the league, which was 6 games. This could be, you know, upwards of a year, depending on how they want to crack down on it. Now that it's come out earlier, you're able to go to the draft and you don't have to have that worry in the back of your mind as a GM. It's like, all right, we know we got Rashee, we know all that's behind us.
With Walls and the Crew.
He's excited over there. You don't have to worry about
trademark your shirt and actually hit the value button.
You don't have to worry about any of that other stuff because you know that your wide receiver is going to be there. Now, granted, the argument is wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2. He's not going to be your first option. We know that.
I think he is.
However, you've got to understand, like, you know, Rashee is a integral part of the Kansas City Chiefs offense, and without him, we saw what happened last year. It started off as doom and gloom, and so I think you've got to understand like what you've got there, and now that you can go to the draft, it kind of opens up your draft board a little bit.
Now, I hope that with the public perception of Rashee Rice and what everything's going on, I hope that some fans and viewers understand that the difference between the civil case, the NFL's policy, and what they and their threshold on trying to find somebody guilty compared to the legal system is that there was conflicting evidence and something, things weren't corroborated correctly that didn't give them that type of information to suspend him under their threshold. But he still has to go through the public scrutiny and that reputation, because even though he is found innocent through the NFL, he still has a contract that's about to expire, and teams do not they're going to use this against him in the negotiation process with his off-field shenanigans, his knee injury.
Depends on how he plays this year.
It does, but when you're trying to get maximum value and give less money, this will always come up, and I'm pretty sure that they know some things different. Or even the NFL knows more things than we know that they're going to use against him in the negotiation process with his agent to try to get him for $84 million for 4 years or so.
I don't know. It just depends, because you got to remember this Chiefs team, they're more friendly than a traditional, I would say traditional type team, i.e. the Patriots, some like the Steelers or a team like that. I think this is a team where they listen to their star quarterback. And if Pat say we paying him, we paying him. So he's gotten a lot of guys paid, and he's gotten some guys drafted too. So I think with that being said, I just feel like it just all depends on how he plays this year. If he comes out and has a lump of coal all season, then of course. But I don't see that happening out with Rashee. I see him coming out and being able to ball and catch. Upwards of 60 balls this season.
I think 100.
Okay.
Now with this ruling being introduced before the draft, you guys think they go defense now, or do they trade for Kyle Pitts, which has been some of the things that's been whispering among the league, or do they go all defense? They go edge rusher, they go corner then edge rusher, or they go nickel?
You looking at me like I know the positions of the book. I just learned that we had a quarterback, a halfback. What's the other backs? We got more backs. Cornerback, running back. Is that all the backs?
That's all the backs.
See, look. Like, he looked at me like, what you think? I don't know.
I feel like you've solidified your running back. You've gotten your wide receiver. But you still, I think the first round you can go either way, to be honest. I mean, it depends on what you feel like is the most. If I'm Brett Veach, it's what do I feel like is the most pressing need. You've got a couple guys on defense that you've solidified over this course of this offseason with free agency, and it's like, all right, can those guys get us through, or do we need to go young? Do we need to go get a younger guy at that position? And I feel like the first pick is going to be somebody on the defense. And I think that the second pick in the first round will possibly be either traded for a couple of second round picks.
That's going to be tough.
Or you're going to go with somebody who, because when you think about all these later round, first round picks that the Chiefs have had, couple of them panned out, couple of them didn't.
Yeah.
So you think about that what is it, 29th pick?
Yeah, and this draft I think a lot of teams are having problems. A lot of teams are wanting to trade out of the first round pick and trying to get some stock into the 2027 draft because it's a little bit more. It's a deeper draft, but I think teams will have more of a problem trading out of the first round rather than getting in. So I don't know what they do with that 29th pick.
I just hope that this is a wake-up call for Rashee.
Mm-hmm.
To be mindful of who you surround yourself with. Because this is also the second time, because my heart aches for the women who do have real domestic violence cases,
Mm-hmm.
but this is now the second time within the Chiefs franchise where a woman has claimed DV
Mm-hmm.
and it has turned out not to be true.
Right.
So I hope this is a wake-up call for Rashee because it could have went a different direction in his career could have been shortened.
I hope a lot of people see this as a wake up call in this new world. You know,
on both sides of it though.
Yeah. On both sides of it for sure.
Because you got where this this kind of situation, it highlights some false accusations. Now, don't get me wrong. There's still guys that have gotten in trouble for doing this, and they have done it. But then there's those who will look at that situation early on, and let's say it went the opposite direction for Rashee. Let's say he did get, the league comes out and say, "Oh, you're going to be suspended for another 6 games." That opens up a whole wide range of things of women that's like, all right, keep fooling with me, and I'm gonna get mad at you. And I know if I say this or those buzzwords or whatever it is, I know that you're gonna either pay me or you're gonna be suspended.
Yep.
So I'm just looking at it from both sides, and granted, it's all bad. You should, like you said, you shouldn't have yourself in that situation.
I think Brittany Renner needs to make some more speeches.
But sometimes I think the league understands, and they've dived deep dive into this, and had to make sure that they got it right. Because if they didn't, then there's always that snowball effect.
Yeah.
We've seen where they don't get it right too. Like we've seen
Ray Rice.
I was staying within the organization.
Kareem Hunt.
We've seen Kareem Hunt where they totally cleared, and then all of a sudden a video comes out. So I'm not gonna say there was a false allegation. I'm gonna say that they couldn't prove it.
They didn't clear Kareem Hunt. They didn't clear Kareem. The Chiefs did, but the NFL never did.
And that's what I'm saying.
And actually, I'll take that back. The Chiefs did not clear Kareem Hunt. What happened was the Chief he went in for the
interview.
Basically, what happened. He told them nothing happened, and then he went and did this interview with, I don't know if y'all remember that, but he did this interview with ESPN or whatever, and he came out and said, "Oh, nothing happened. This was just what it was or whatever." Woman came to my room and he acknowledged that part of it, but it wasn't the video version of him. Right. What was it? Kicking the woman.
And that's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah. Like we've seen situations where players we've moved on, and then we've gotten further evidence. So, and that's why I'm saying I don't want to pose this as a false allegation. I don't want to go that far, because we know how these leagues do. They'll cut a check before they admit anything. And so I don't want to say anybody's guilty in this. But it is an unfortunate situation, because if he did do anything to her and there was no video, how do you prove what happened? And I think that's the situation we've seen with several cases. Not even just in the NFL. We could blindfold ourselves and pick a sport. But for the Chiefs' sake, for the organization's sake, I'm glad that they're able to move on past this, so they can start getting to the draft, because yes, they need offensive linemen, they need defensive linemen, they need linebackers. They have a lot of holes to fill. But also, to Mike's point, yes, this could be detrimental to his further contract negotiations, because if you are the Chiefs, do you award a guy with 2 instances of violence that hangs up above him? Do you want to award him a further contract? Like, was 4 years enough, or do you want to give him 8 years in the organization and give him another chance to mess up again?
We've seen talent overshadows all that.
It does, but also soft tissue injuries. I'm huge on players who have soft tissue injuries. He's not a fast guy. He's not really getting super separation like Tyreek Hill or Mecole Hardman or whatever, or even Xavier Worthy. So there's a deterioration point, and so you have to map it out. Is the compensation going to be worth the headaches and some of the injury history or whatnot?
But he didn't have an injury history.
He got hurt.
That was on Patrick. That wasn't on Rashee.
But
that was on
it's not
Patrick throwing an interception.
It's still an injury.
I would rather take a guy with a broken leg that has mended his wounds rather than a guy with a soft tissue injury. Soft tissue injuries seem to linger and give problems later on in the years. And with this being a full contact sport, you have to put this in the realms of the negotiations or whatever. So if he has to have a superb year, and he has to solidify himself as the receiver one, and he better pray on his knees that they do not draft another receiver, because you still have Tate. Tate can be there. There's a couple guys that can be there that can get drafted.
Here's the thing on that too, real quick before we move on. If he has, let's just say, a season that he had in was his 2020
rookie year
3. Let's say he has a season that he had in 2023 or rookie season or whatever. I feel like that's going to warrant a top pay wide receiver deal that he's going to get. It don't matter what you've done in the past. We've seen guys get paid.
Oh yeah.
All talent overshadows, and it sucks that it's this way, but talent overshadows any of that.
So he's getting JSN money. He's going to get $36 million a year.
Not quite that money.
Okay, so
not
he's
quite that
top
money,
5.
but he'll be in the top. He'll be in the
JSN,
top.
Puka, AJ Brown, Malik Neighbors will be up for a contract.
His numbers have to be in line with what they because if his numbers are in line with that, then he can argue like, hey, you got to pay me those numbers.
So where's JSN? JSN's at 30.
He's about to get a new deal.
JSN's got a new deal. Yeah, he just signed a new deal like 2 weeks ago.
I didn't see that one.
So he's got like 35. I think on the C-Lens is looking up his trademark. Seeing if we can check. I think it's about upwards of 30 million. So you're giving Rashee Rice 34?
No, he's whatever his numbers align with is what he's going to
40.
get.
He's got, I figured it was upper. So JSN's got 42 a year.
He's got to put up JSN numbers.
But you know
I don't think that's happening.
But you know how the market goes. It's not about the numbers. It's about, okay, this is the threshold. It's now 42. So next year that receiver's probably going to get 43.
My whole thing and what I'm saying is he's got to be able to talent overshadows all that. We talked about before the show started. We home opener or no, it wasn't home opener today. Wednesday, young guy from Kansas City with the Royals. He Carter Jensen overslept.
Right.
Manager Q of the Royals came out and said there was a question asked in the postgame press conference of why he didn't start.
Right.
He was supposed to start for Salvador Perez. He said, well, he overslept. Nobody asked a follow-up question, so I asked my follow-up question to Q. I was like, hey, Q, you know about the young guys in the league, in all sports, they do like things and have mistakes. What was your message to him? He's like, Carter will tell you before I even had to tell you. He was hurt about it. Like, This isn't him. This isn't. However, if Bobby Witt Jr. overslept, you think he's not starting?
I think he is.
Oh, he was coming out there.
So my point, talent overshadows any of that.
But he also said that he's human and everybody's human and they make mistakes.
Yeah.
Right. I remember that. And so, talent does. But Carter Jensen, his sub, like I said earlier, I believe he struck out with some runners on base and it kind of cost the game. So let's see how that goes next time when he oversleeps.
He ain't gonna oversleep again. how many alarm clocks y'all got?
I have a lot. My alarm clock started at 5:00 in the morning.
Mine too.
I may not get up till 6:45.
Because it makes it helps your mind understand like, oh, it's almost time.
Yeah. But my problem is I lay in the bed and I think about my day.
You think about your day?
And then I end up falling back to sleep. And then
I ain't doing no thinking during that time.
That last alarm. Listen, I try to pray. I try to think about what I'm going to wear. Think about what's happening on the show on that day.
Quick question. Which one takes longer, the prayer or what you going to wear?
Listen, me and Jesus are locked in. I be chatting with him, okay?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't need an alarm clock. I mean, you just kind of, on certain, most situations now, my brain is kind of programmed to where, like, hey, we got to wake up at 6 and boom.
On the weekends, I somehow wake up at 6. I don't need an alarm clock for the weekends for some reason.
That's called conditioning.
That's funny. An announcement that had happened on April 1st, I can guarantee is not an April Fool's joke, y'all. Bill Self is set to return as Kansas Jayhawks head basketball coach. So Kansas men's basketball coach Bill Self is set to return to the sideline for 2026-27 season. He announced on Wednesday. So Bill Self said in a statement that he remains focused and committed to Kansas competing for a national championship. So His announcements comes more than a week after Coach Self said he discussed his coaching future with his family after dealing with multiple health-related issues in recent years. So, of course, you guys remember last summer, Bill Self had to get a couple of stents put in his heart. So he missed some time last year. He also, due to health related issues, missed a game this year. So Bill Self, you guys excited about him coming back?
Should we be? Like, is Bill Self still is KU still a part of like this blue blood?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Okay,
most definitely. They're still a team to be reckoned with. They still had the number one player in the country, even though they didn't play up to the standards and get into the Elite Eight or the Final Four. But it's not a question if Bill Self heart is into it. It's a matter of fact if his heart is into it, because this can be a problem that, this is a high stressful job, and you're dealing with kids that, as we should probably talk about later, that has, bukus of leverage and, what they can do and what they can't do and how much money they get. And you're seeing a lot of these old school coaches who are leaving the game because of these rules and regulations. But I mean, he's still a young man. He's only 65. He's not an old guy, but to have, several stints put in and being a high pressure job that has high pressure expectations or whatever. I hope that his family and his doctors and the people in his circle gave him the right information to continue on for a healthy career, because, he is an awesome coach, but you don't want to see a situation like what happened in Loyola Marymount, to where the guy passed out, passed away on the court, So, I mean, no one is privy to that type of, situation. So
I saw a conspiracy out there. Allegedly, I think Kansas City is a destination for next year's NCAA tournament. So they were like, how would that be if Bill Self, his last
hoorah,
his last hoorah, he wins one of the championships here in Kansas City.
On the Missouri side.
Hey.
I just think Bill Self is it's like a player, man. If you're not coaching, what are you doing? Where are you? I know he's the Hall of Fame coach. He spent 33 years as coaching. He was, at Oklahoma, he's at Oral Roberts. He has a long tenure of doing this. And I think you just do it so long to where it's like, man, if I'll give it up, I know what kind of freshman class I have coming in next year. I think they're top 2 C-Lens, if I'm not correct. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he knows what class he has coming in. Now he does have a couple of guys that are leaving. He has Peterson, who's of course going to enter the draft, and he has his big man that's into the transfer portal. So he's got a huge class coming in next year. So I think he has something to do with it. But I will say this: if Bill Self did retire, I feel like Jock Vaughn will get the job.
Is that the system?
He's on his staff. Yeah, of course, played at KU. He was a
coached at
Utah for many years, and
didn't work out well.
He was a head coach as well. So
Orlando Magic as well, I believe.
I think he would get the gig. But we've seen these blue bloods though. They'll fire you even if you are a coach that's been there. We saw what happened in North Carolina, and they still looking for a coach.
Yeah.
So
get him.
We saw what happened with trying to coach a blue blood. So speaking of coaches, we have 2 legendary coaches who got into a heated shouting match yesterday. Last night's women's March Madness game between UConn and South Carolina saw tempers boiled as 2 of the game's most legendary coaches got into an engaged, heated sideline conversation. So UConn's Geno Auriemma and South Carolina's Dawn Staley were seen shouting aggressively at each other in the closing moments of yesterday's game. So Auriemma approached Dawn Staley, and exchange began to speak aggressively before the conversation evolved into a shouting match. So let's hear what Coach Dawn Staley had to say post-game.
Regulation saw Geno with some words for Dawn. And obviously it escalated from there. And Holly is with Dawn Staley right now.
Well, Coach, something happened there at the end of the game. What went wrong on the sideline right now?
I have no idea. But I'm going to let you know this. I'm of integrity. So if I did something wrong to Geno, I had no idea what I did. I guess he thought I didn't shake his hand at the beginning of the game. I didn't know. I went down there pregame, shook everybody on his staff's hand. I don't know what he came with after the game, but hey, sometimes things get heated. We move on.
Okay, let's get to your team because.
Let's hear what Coach Auriemma had to say in his post-game press conference.
For 41 years, I've been coaching and I've been, 25 Final Fours. And the protocol is before the game, you meet at half court. Anybody ever see that before? Two coaches meet at half court and they shake hands. Correct? You ever see it? They announce it on the loudspeaker. And I waited there for like 3 minutes. So it is what it is.
First of all,
thank you.
They showed. He said a couple of things during the game. I think he was with Holly during third quarter, and they asked, about the foul calls and his player's jersey getting ripped. They showed that she ripped her own jersey, and they also showed that Don did, in fact, shake his hand pregame. So I think this is kind of a smokescreen that he is using to because they got smacked.
Sore loser.
I mean, yeah, that's basically
Outplayed.
what it is. Yep.
Outplayed. Because I mean, South Carolina got beat real bad in the championship last year, and they didn't go out that way. Like she said, she is a woman of integrity, and I feel like if he really had to have said something else that she isn't telling us, for her to react that way.
Because did you hear what she said? Can we say this word? Can we say the A word on the radio? I think it's FAA approved, right? Is it?
Just
the A word?
Continue
like butt? I mean, the opposite of butt. Yeah. You could say that. Yeah.
She said, "I'm gonna whoop you. I can whoop your ass." Thank you.
The other thing that and I read his lips is like, you didn't when I was like, you didn't shake my hand pregame or whatever. She's like, what are you talking about? I ain't like that. I ain't like you just read the whole exchange. But my thing was, why are you hanging on to this after the game?
Exactly. He hung on it real.
And furthermore, if I'm playing you before the game, I don't want to shake your hand. We about to go to battle. After the game, we cool. But in these lines, like, it is what it is. Like, we at each other's throat.
But didn't video show that she shook his hand?
It did.
She did.
She did.
But also, it showed like last year when UConn beat South Carolina.
He didn't.
He was all dancey going in for a hug. And she was laughing with him, even though South Carolina lost and still hugged him. I think he's being a sore loser.
Exactly.
And, they also do the interview from like third quarter to fourth quarter, like transitioning. And
he was cussing and everything.
Yeah, he was like, she's over there saying all types of words to the referees. I didn't know we could say that. And he was like, and they're beating us up.
Listen.
Call something. But I just think he was upset. His team was,
getting whooped.
Yeah, exactly.
I just want more coaches like Coach Hurley. Just.
Oh no.
That's what I want, man. Just mad dog the referee after his team hit the game winner.
Headbutt.
All I know is every South Carolinian that I had on my timeline.
That's what they call Carolinian.
South Carolinian. Yes, it's oh man, I can't remember what they would always say. The Palmetto State.
Yeah.
But I mean, everybody was firing into Geno.
Mm-hmm.
Even is it Chinny and Andrea?
Yep.
Yeah.
They fired into Geno, and they all, talked about how, like, if this was Don acting the way that Geno did, it would have been a completely different story.
It's double standard.
A completely different story. So all I can say is uncommon favor. Go get Don Smith more.
Hey, but UCLA. Let's see how that goes. UCLA plus 3.5.
Yep. We're gonna talk about that more as we dive into Final Four plus the women's championship game. We're gonna take a quick break. Coming up here on the W Show.
You're tuned in to the W. You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live. tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Remember to use hashtag talk about it, and we'll talk about whatever topic you want. How's everyone's brackets looking? Because we've been seeing.
Good.
I was just on.
We've been doing a bracket check past couple weeks, and man, how's the women's bracket looking first?
My women's bracket is at 58.7%.
Pump them numbers up, them weak numbers.
And I picked one team right in the Final Four.
That's not good.
I picked South Carolina to win it all in one bracket, and I got UCLA in the other. I'm at 91. I'm about to check what I am here with you guys.
I'm checking mine now. I did one with my family, and a lot of them chose Duke. I was the only one who chose Arizona.
There you go.
Okay. For the men, that's for the men?
For the men, yeah.
Okay.
I didn't have time to put in the women's, but I always go for South Carolina.
Yeah, so South Carolina will take on UCLA tomorrow on Easter. I watched the Texas UCLA game yesterday, and I felt like Texas was going to win it. Just how they were playing defense at first, but they weren't able to make shots. So if you don't make shots and the other team comes down and scores, it's a wrap. So UCLA definitely were able to. UCLA was definitely able to look good in that game. So it's UCLA, South Carolina. We'll see that game tomorrow. And then the men's Final Four, you have number 3 Illinois versus number 2 UConn happening today at 5:00, and then 5:07, I believe, is game time. It's weird. And then number 1 Michigan versus number 1 Arizona is coming on at 7:46, I think.
Got a Kansas City on Kansas City and on Illinois, and we had a Kansas City on Iowa, and that was a good game last week. It's just to see 2 local kids kind of going at it, like contributing, like playing ball. And I thought that was just great to just put a good light on Kansas City and all the youth that are coming up and playing good D1 ball.
Let me just say, my child is still grieving Duke's loss.
Your son's a Duke fan?
Duke is his number 1 school.
Are you serious? Oh, because of engineering. Hopefully not because of the basketball team.
Okay, honestly, it is because of the basketball team. Because when we went to the NASB conference last year, and I was like, TJ, there goes Duke over there. Like, go over there and say something.
Like, we as a culture don't like Duke.
He was like, yes, I'm interested in your school because of the basketball team. I was like, don't say that.
Don't say that.
Why not?
Don't say
Let's be honest.
I mean, he was honest, but I was like,
Say
don't let
it.
that be the only reason why you want to attend a school. But at that time, I went and got into bed, and TJ was giving me a play-by-play of what was happening.
Yeah.
And I could hear him say, no. He said,
Oh.
oh my God, Duke just lost. And I was like, what? And then when I saw what happened, I was just like, oh man.
Yeah, that was spectacular.
Oh my
I couldn't
goodness.
believe it. Yeah.
So
need to show him film of Christian Laettner and see if just give him the history of Duke and just a little documentary and see if he enjoys Duke then.
he has Duke, KU, Arkansas, Kentucky, and Arizona.
Calipari with Arkansas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. NBA player Jaden Ivey claims he was cut for preaching the gospel and claims Bulls' reason for release is a lie. So former Chicago Bulls player Jaden Ivey maintained that the conduct he showed in going against the NBA's Pride Month and the anti-LGBTQ beliefs was not detrimental to the team. So Jaden Ivey posted a rant on social media calling the NBA's Pride Month unrighteousness. Chicago said Ivey committed conduct detrimental to the team. So he said in an appearance on the Pinpoint podcast that my conduct was not detrimental to the team. Not to lie, I was a good teammate, and those around me, I was good on the floor, and also I made the right plays. I listened to the coach. I did exactly what the coach asked me to do on a daily basis, and whatever was needed, whatever was required of me to do, I was willing to do. So my conduct was not detrimental to the team. He said it's strictly because I spoke the truth of the word of God and preaching the gospel. That's why it was detrimental to the team. I witnessed to so many on my team and the truth and those things. He said, everyone has their beliefs. Everyone believes in something. If someone can speak and curse and speak about righteousness, about whatever it may be, then I can speak the truth. And that's because my God says, speak the truth to the lost and those who don't know Jesus and those who are not born again. One thing that I saw from this is he just went kind of back and forth on a bunch of different things, and his wife came out I believe it was yesterday, because Jaden had some things to say about it. He's like, people in my own house don't believe in, aren't believing in me and some of the things that I have to say. And his wife came out and said, that is a lie. We were on the phone right before he made this, right before he went on social media and did all the posts and all that stuff. His wife said, I've had this man's back since we were in college, since day one. I still have his back. Like, so I'm not sure where all this is coming from. It's like, we have 3 kids together, great father, but I don't know where all this is coming from. And a lot of people are going at her on social media saying, you're this, you're that, because you don't have his back and all that stuff. So,
I mean, he wasn't righteous when he was beating her up.
You said it. I was going to say it.
I mean, so that kind of like cancels out everything he said that happened. That's conduct detrimental to the team.
Yeah,
I'm glad Q
and wasn't
said
it
it.
you, Steve, that said like people didn't even realize what he said about the LGBTQ community until he had came out and said it.
And everyone, even when the team dismissed him, released him, nobody knew until he went on this rant. It was like, hey, they released me because XYZ, and started going in and did like this whole what was it, like 10-hour something on social
like
media.
7 hours.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That's a long time.
But they also talked about him, when he was going through, he said on the same podcast, when he was going through injury and things like that, he thought about, committing suicide about 3 or 4 times. The pain oxycodone medication that he was taking did some things to his mind and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know like where this is coming from.
I know,
but he still got paid $10 million when they released him.
Exactly.
You know what this sounds like? Before you even mentioned the pain meds and the suicide, the first thing I was going to say, just by hearing what he's saying and just the contradiction between him and his wife, this sounds like a manic situation.
It's psychosis.
Yeah.
This sounds like before I didn't even have to hear you say, I didn't even read this. This sounds like a manic situation right here. This sounds like a bipolar manic situation right here. And that he's going through an episode and somebody recognized it in the league and he got dismissed. So hopefully he gets help.
I feel like instead of dismissing him, they should have done something to get him.
He's got some kind of help. He's got $10 million. He's got $10 million.
Yeah.
That's what they said. You got $10 million. Go pay for a doctor.
Well, I mean, that's a scapegoat to me. That's a scapegoat
Give
from
him the $10 million
because they've got some resources, and why does he have to spend his own money if he's on your team?
Because we pay you to play.
He was still a first round draft pick. I believe he was pick. He was number 5. And he wasn't that just a few weeks ago.
Do we know if the team tried to?
We don't. They haven't come out and said anything. They just they just came out and said it was conduct detrimental to the league, and you gone. So it's like where does your I don't know. Yeah. Where does it lie? Is it lie with him? But and again, I feel like if they're going to take a stance and say, all right, we're going to get him some help, XYZ, then you're going to have the LGBTQ community that's going to come out. You're going to come out here and allow him to say this, and so they're fighting 2 battles really, and they feel like the LGBT community is the one that they did not want to fight.
I don't think that. I think this though, because this goes to your point where you say talent prevails, right? If Bobby Witt was to call in or becomes sick or late or whatever, he would still play. This is a business, right? We pay you money for a level of production. His level of production wasn't equaling the amount of problems.
But he was injured too.
The amount of problems, injuries included. Because listen, I don't pay you to be injured. I pay you to play, right? And so he was not playing to a level of the money and the headaches and the injuries and whatever kind of nonsense or no nonsense or whatever that he wasn't contributing. So what we do is we get rid of you.
Has any of his teammates came out and said anything about this?
No. Not at all.
Not in defense or
not at all. Like nobody said a peep, because again, it's conduct detrimental to the team. So not only does he have conduct detrimental to his in-home team, he has conduct detrimental to his work team.
Right.
Like if you're running around the locker room and preaching whatever version of the gospel, because I'm not saying this is like, I don't know what God he's referring to, but I don't think this is the God that everybody knows. And so like to go around calling your teammates like unrighteous and the devil and all of that. Like,
no, we can play ball.
Yeah.
You don't build team chemistry like that.
And
so
I love
that's
the Lord.
And that's why you let people go like that, because you need help.
Mm-hmm.
And spending our resources on top of buying out your contract is not that. This is business. We're not going to do that. And so, like, sometimes people reach a point where you can't help them.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing.
Yeah,
There's nothing anybody else can do outside of putting him in restraints and
then
getting him
detrimental to you.
Yeah, getting him the help that he needs, and the help that he needs is not on a basketball team, on a basketball court, not in the practice facility, not in the locker room. Like, he needs some serious like mental health attention paid to him.
But on the flip side of that, though, on the flip side of that is it's supposed to be a brotherhood.
Supposed to be.
It's supposed to be a brotherhood. Now, if we're identifying that he needs help and that he's not himself, is that what we all saying? Is that when he was himself, it was all good. Now that he's not himself, we're gonna just do away with them and say, "Nah, here's your take your $10 million and roll." That's not how, business or not. That's not how you do business to a family member. That is, it's a brotherhood.
It is.
So that's just not to me. I get what he's doing is not the right thing and all that stuff, but like, you just don't kick him to the side and say, "Nah, you ain't a part of this family."
But we don't know if they just kicked him to the side before they
Yeah,
offered help or
100%.
whatever. Because, like you said, like, you just don't do it to a family member. Listen, I will cut anybody off.
Exactly.
I don't care if you family, friend, my pastor, whatever. Because after a while, like, you start to sink into this depression or this this mental struggle as well. So at what point do you save yourself?
Right. Exactly.
Instead of drowning? So prayerfully, hopefully, they did try to offer him some help.
Yeah.
And I feel like, even though he has, said what he said, went on these 7-hour, 10-hour, however long rants, I still feel like he has people in this brotherhood who are still, rooting for him or, reaching out to him. Everything don't have to be public. We know that too. So, but yeah, I don't think, listen, I've dealt with it before, and after a while, I just had to, like, wash my hands of it. And what the church mother say, let go and let God.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure we all have been in a locker room situation where he's in his moment, or where he's ranting or speaking about God. I'm pretty sure somebody said, "Hey, man, I'm trying to get this pick and roll down. Like, hey, let's talk about Jesus later." I'm pretty sure some type of conversation probably, happened like that, and then it just became a little bit too much, and then they had to do the checks and balances.
He just need that big brother. I know we talked about Lamar Odom earlier when we had our meeting on Wednesday, and it was kind of like he had the big brothers that went to the where was he at a brothel and went and got him, like, and wasn't gonna just let everything go down like it was going to go down. So he just needs that big brother on the team. Someone who did not have a big brother was Tiger Woods. He said that he is stepping away from golf to seek treatment after DUI arrest. In a statement that he posted to Twitter, he said, "I know and understand the seriousness of the situation I find myself in today. I am stepping away for a period of time to seek treatment and focus on my health. This is necessary in order for me to prioritize my well-being and work toward lasting recovery." He said, I'm committed to taking the time needed to return to in a healthier, stronger, and more focused place, both personally and professionally. I appreciate your understanding and support, and I ask for privacy for my family, loved ones, and myself at this time. Tiger.
Good for you.
This is after, last week we talked about him having the wreck. But when he I watched I don't know if you guys saw the video of the body cam footage. And when Tiger explained, like, what happened, that can happen to anybody. Like he said, literally there was a truck, and I looked at the truck and the trailer sitting in the middle of the road, 2-lane road. And he said, I looked down at my phone and the trailer was stopped. And the guy that was driving the truck with the trailer said, I was making a right-hand turn. I was stopped. And Tiger said he looked up. And man, instead of running into it, he hurried up and hit that quick left, turned the wheel, and it flipped onto his side. So that could happen to anybody. Now, whether his timing and all that stuff was bad. I think it was just all kind of a mixed bag that just all happened at the wrong time.
He was also on drugs.
Yeah,
too.
you give allegedly. I'm giving him grace.
I'm not giving him grace.
You said it could happen,
but I'm saying it could.
There's
but
other
this
people
is
online
Tiger's.
that's always trying to give him grace because they said they also felt like if he wasn't Tiger, then it wouldn't have been as big as it was. I have seen social media users write that as well.
But this is like Tiger's fourth crash.
Very true.
And the thing,
like hire a driver, dog.
Nah, listen. Listen. I can make some jokes because we know culturally what Tiger Woods is or whatever. But on the serious note, though, I think that his back injuries and his golf injuries is really taking a toll on him. And we've seen this happen. I think I was listening to Bomani Jones, and Michael Jackson was taking morphine because of the pain.
And
Prince,
got addicted to it,
which is, I think his 10, 12 year anniversary of his death is coming up here in April or whatever. He was taken because of the pain hip or whatever, and he OD'd or he had fentanyl on it. People who tell you that have back pain, it's excruciating. It's really, it takes a toll 100%. On you, to where you're just taking these pain pills just to function. And yes, he should hire a driver, but then there's a self of yourself that you want to be able to drive and go wherever you want, no matter who you are and how big you are. And Puka's going to rehab. I hope that he gets some help and finds different, avenues of medication to help treat himself, because on top of several car accidents that he had.
There said Tiger needs a driver, pun intended.
Like, hire a driver, dog. Like, please
he
hire
does have
a driver.
the money to do it.
Yeah. All right, we're going to take another quick break. Coming up, we'll dive into our Hater 11 segment. This is the W Show. We'll be right back.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live. You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
See, Liz, what you know about Boosie? Okay.
Got his name on the map, and he over here boosting it up.
Hey, this is what Don said to Geno.
Oh, this is what that new money do, don't you? Don't you see, Liz?
All right, we got to talk about it today. Remember, if you use hashtag talk about it, we'll talk about whatever topic you want. This week's talk about it comes from Cliffs on X. He said wants us to talk about two things, both involving candy. So first is Hershey announced they will shift some Reese's products back to classic recipes. So I looked at the story, and it's talked about nearly 2 months after grandson of H.B. Reese accused Hershey of quietly changing the formula of various Reese's products, and the company announced it would bring back a small portion of the brand's candies back with their classic milk and dark chocolate recipes. So the Hershey company confirmed the change during its 2026 Investor Day event on March 31st, and in a statement to USA Today on April 2nd. So Stacy Taffet, Chief Growth Officer for Hershey, said at the March 31st event that the company is enhancing its Kit Kat recipe to give customers a creamier chocolate and transitioning our sweets portfolio to colors from natural sources and ensuring that all Hershey's and Reese's offerings are consistent with the brand's classic milk and dark chocolate recipes. So in a statement to USA Today, the company said that these changes should go into effect in 2027. So this move comes after Brad Reese, grandson of Reese's Candy founder H.B. Reese, penned an open letter to Hershey's on LinkedIn post on February 14th, in which he said his grandfather created the brand using real milk chocolate and peanut butter, something he alleges that the chocolate company changed sometime after buying the Reese's brand in the 1960s. So Reese's brand identity are being written not by storytellers, but by formulation decisions that replaces milk chocolate with compound coatings and peanut butter with the peanut butter style creams. Reese wrote in a LinkedIn post.
Bump that.
So he called him out.
Isn't it at one point Reese's and Hershey's were competitors, right?
Yeah, they were. And one bought the other. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. That's what I thought. Well, they said back in the 1960s. I was about to say, listen, I love me a Hershey. I love me a Reese's. I ain't know that it was a difference in
So the grandson said that on February 14th, he bought some chocolate or whatever for Valentine's Day. And he said he ate one. And he was like, wait a minute. And ate another one. He's like, no. He said he spit it out. And that's when he got his Twitter fingers on LinkedIn and was like, nah, this can't happen.
Bump that. I went to a quick trip the other day to get my daughter some Reese's. $3.72 for 4 of them. It's like 93 cents per Reese, man. So while you changing recipes,
change the price.
Change the price.
You spit it out because you ran out of money.
So the second portion of the question is he wants us to give our favorite candy.
Of like there?
No, just in general.
Okay, well, I'll say I love chocolate.
Okay.
I love me some chocolate, and I love Hershey's. I've always loved Hershey's. When Mom would take me to, y'all remember IGA?
IGA, yeah. Out south, you out south, baby.
I am an out south baby. I am. But I will always get the mega one. It was like thicker, and I'll put it in the refrigerator.
Oh, it is.
So Hershey's was my thing.
Milk or cold water that you eat it with?
Neither.
Milk or cold water? What kind of question is that?
Nah, listen.
What's your favorite candy, man?
Skittles. Taste the rainbow.
Oh, okay. Cute.
I'm gonna go with Twizzlers today.
Okay.
Twizzlers
today, so it can change tomorrow.
Always. It could be Snickers next week.
I'm a gummy guy, so I like the gummy savers, the gummy Jolly Ranchers, anything like
the gummy Jolly Ranchers
Fire.
are amazing.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Gummy lifesavers though. Whew. Heat. See, Lens?
Gummy lifesavers.
Yeah, there we go. There it is.
Surprised he didn't say, paydays or something like that.
All right, let's get to our Hater or Love It segment.
It's that time for Love It or Hate It.
Hate it.
If we love it, we talk about it. If we hate it, we move on.
All right, so up first for our sneakers of the week, we have the Virgil Air Jordan 1 collab, the Alaskas. Y'all feeling those?
I like the icy whites.
Yeah. All right, how about the Melita Nike Vomero Premium Total Orange? These are fire.
I like the thick sole on those. Those are fire.
I feel like Dawn had something on like that last night.
Mm-hmm. She did. All right, what about the Eric Manuel Chuck collab? I haven't had a nice pair of Chucks in a while. These are fire. The jean,
Chucks always make my feet look longer, and they're already big. So I've never been a Chucks fan. I don't like Chucks.
You gotta know how to wear them. You must lace your Chucks too tight.
No.
You got them too tight.
Y'all remember La Cienega off the Proud Family? When she got the pool?
Yeah, that's what your feet are. You got some paddles.
How about the Nike Air Diamond Turf 2, the Royal? So if you guys don't remember, these is when they make these collab about when Dion was drafted by the Royals.
Dion's shoes.
That's right. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, those are cool. Yeah, this is one of your better sneaker of the weeks, man. Like the other couple times, I looked at it last week when I was gone. I was like, trash.
I just pick what
comes out.
Yeah,
but you be liking them though. That's the difference, though.
Well, Q will tell you he likes some ones that he's gone back and said because he's seen them on feet. They change his perception.
But you be liking them just off.
You just gotta be a forward thinker and understand like this is what this is gonna look like with this. This is gonna look like on the courts. But you don't do that. You just look at it what it is on the picture.
Nah, I just know trash is trash. I don't need to look at it in different aspects.
All right, Uber is swinging into spring with Uber Golf. Hate it or love it?
Hate it.
So
starting this week, riders will see Uber Golf roll out on their Uber app. The ultimate ways to get the to and from the course. So Uber Golf includes an option to reserve a ride for up to 4 players with their club. So rides can be reserved up to 90 days in advance. So their mission is so you can lock in those tee times and focus more on your backswing and less of how you're gonna get there. Whoa. Book ahead.
So they basically are marketing off of Tiger. Gotcha.
Okay.
Dang,
there you go. Hire a driver.
Well, hold on. This is like they're not picking me up in a go-kart. They're picking me up in a car to take me to the golf course, but I can book it 90 days in advance.
There it is.
I should be able to book every ride 90 days in advance then.
Nope.
Why not?
I don't know.
I mean,
that ain't what they want you to do.
Okay.
Uber said, let's have a marketing meeting real quick. What can we do?
Dumb.
All right, busy sports day in Kansas City. You got the Royals at 1:10. You got Casey Kern at 3, and you got the Royals another doubleheader today at 6:45. Choose a game. Go out there, have some fun. Happy Easter, y'all. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us on this nice Saturday. Get out, enjoy, have some fun, spend some time with your family. Until next week, we are out of here.
He is risen.
The views and opinions expressed on the W Radio Show by the host, co-host, guests, and call-in listeners are solely the opinions and responsibility of the original source who expressed them. They do not represent the opinions of the W Show, 100.1 FM, One Kansas City Radio, Sideline Sports Talk, Team Wall Street Foundation, or affiliates.